게스트님, 문이 닫힙니다.
After the first week of this challenge, I'm happy to report that I've lost 2 kilograms, and I've been pretty good with sticking to the protocol that I outlined in the last video. So far, no cheat days, no heavy drinking, and I've managed to stay pretty physically active. My diet has been pretty clean, and I've been able to will myself to not overeat, to stay away from carbs, and at night when I do get hungry, that protein shake does really come in very handy, and yeah, it really helps to minimize the damage. All in all, things are going well, but I know from experience that the first week is usually the easiest. After that, things start to slow down and you start to catch yourself slipping a lot more often than you'd like. Having done a few of these challenges now, I realized that I probably should have started with 1 month and worked my way up to 3. 4 weeks feels much more manageable and realistic in terms of being able to stick to a particular routine. They say to start small, and that makes much more sense to me now than ever before. It helps to build confidence and gives you time to build those mental muscles like willpower, focus, and perseverance. Also, the short-term nature of this challenge allows me to be more ambitious with my goals and the systems that I put in place to reach them. Now, I'd like to close this week's update by addressing the myth that willpower doesn't work, that it's overrated, and that systems are everything. I think the source of this confusion comes from the fact that a lot of people think that you either have willpower or you don't, and that's false. Just like you can develop memory and focus, you can also develop willpower. Now, if you're someone who has little willpower and you feel like your willpower is weak and unreliable, it's probably true, and that's probably how toddlers feel about their leg muscles and walking. The difference between toddlers and grown-ups, though, is that toddlers haven't yet built mental and emotional barriers that prevent them from believing in possibility. So instead of writing off their inability to walk to innately weak lower body strength, they keep trying and failing, and eventually they learn how to walk. Change and growth are gradual and cumulative. And we only change and grow in the manner that we practice. So don't give up on willpower. Instead, train it, practice it, develop it. Focus, perseverance, resolve. These are all components of willpower, so develop them too. Do hard things. Try saying no when you want to say yes. Say yes when you want to say no. And if you end up failing, shake it off, try again. In the words of Simon Sinek, life is an infinite game. So why let one failure dictate what you believe is possible and what isn't? When you first learn to meditate, it's very common for your mind to wander and to get distracted, and it's hard to focus on one thing for even 10 seconds. The trick is that when your mind does wander, is to bring your focus back to the thing that you were focusing on. And then when it wanders again, you bring it back again. These are effectively reps for focus. And eventually that 10 seconds will turn into 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. Over a year, I was able to get to 1 hour of continuous focus. It was hard and frustrating, but I was able to will myself there. And so can you. One more thing to keep in mind is that willpower isn't all-encompassing. And what I mean by that is that willpower is not the only thing that matters. And that just because you have willpower in one area, it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll carry over into all areas. And sometimes you will have to develop willpower all over again, especially in areas that you consider yourself to be weak in. These challenges are my way of practicing and developing willpower. And as a result, I'm able to eat 1 meal a day happily. I can set aside carb cravings for periods at a time. I can take cold showers, and the list goes on. What are you doing to develop your willpower? As always, thanks for watching, and see you at the 2-week update.